congratulations on the release of Shelved. What's that been like kind of building up to that and now having it out?
It's weird. We had the launch event last night, and we were all kind of saying like it feels like we just left each other, but it's also been 9 months. And so it was a weird reunion where we never really felt like we left, and we all want to be back with each other so badly. But airing the first episode for everybody that was there was so special because we shot out of order. And so that particular day was like very much in the back of all of our minds because we had already grown as like a family and we were a few weeks into shooting. And now that it's live, I'm just like, everybody can see what we did now. Like it's weird, but it's in a good way. Like, oh wow, it's out there. It's live. People can watch it. And I'm loving it. I love it so far.
And I mean, for anyone who hasn't heard of it or hasn't had the chance to watch the first episode, could you tell them
Yeah.
what to expect from it?
Absolutely. So, Shelved is created by the wonderful and talented Anthony Q. Farrell, who is the showrunner, the creator, and it's his brainchild, along with our amazing team of writers. And it is a workplace single camera comedy. So similar to the likes of The Office. To me, it's kind of like Superstore in The Office because the workplace resembles The Office, but it has cutaways, kind of like Superstore, where if you've ever been in a library people are just kind of up to their own thing. And so seeing the cutaways of people just moseying around the library and doing what they're doing is super authentic. And yeah, it's a show about community. Our branch is the Jameson branch in the Metro Public Library, and we're severely underfunded. We're a hot mess, but that's what makes us us. And yeah, it's in a specific part of Toronto. It's a neighborhood called Parkdale. So authentic Parkdalians and Parkdale itself is being represented. And there's some characters. There's archetypes of people that you know and have seen before. And I just think it's a really authentic representation of community and why publicly funded spaces should be kept at the forefront of everybody's minds, regardless of whether you use them or not. They are sacred, special places for people who are, I'm fortunate that I didn't have to rely on a library because I didn't have a computer or a printer, and we showcase all sides of it. And yeah, it's a story about community and the family that you kind of have not only at a job. So I don't want to say family for a job, but it feels that way. Um, yeah, it's a show about community, and Toronto is front and center authentically, which I love as well. Yeah, it's your new favorite workplace sitcom.
Okay, that's the tagline.
Yeah,
I'll go with it.
yeah.
But
The actual tagline is happens. You get it?
yes.
Yeah, yeah. As soon as they did that, I was like, that's our tagline. I love it. Love it. Love it.
I know you said it revolves a lot about family and the workplace, but you guys seem pretty close in general as a cast. Do you have a favorite
Mhm.
moment or memory from your time on this set with them?
Oh my gosh, so many. Um, oh my gosh. To pick just one, I don't even know. I okay, so majority of the show, at least at the beginning of the time what we were shooting was in the winter. So there's like a sacred bond that we all have where we were all in our winter attire in 30-degree weather. Like we all collectively just were like getting our noses wiped every 5 minutes by the hair and makeup girls. I shot a lot of my scenes with Chris Sandiford, who plays Howard Tutt on the show, and Chris is heavily fluent now in Italian, and we both were doing Duolingo at the time. So I was doing my French, and he was doing his Italian. He's very much like Howard, where he's kind of like spouting off in different directions in conversation. And they'd yell cut, and he'd like recite his lines back to me in Italian or Latin or something obscure. So I now have like conversational scripted moments of Shelved that I know in Italian now because of him. But it was such a fun set, and we all clicked like instantly. And yeah, we became a family just like from the first day. It's a surreal kind of feeling. That's one of the few stories that I have.
One of the many.
Yeah, inadvertently learning fluent Italian thanks to Chris Sanford. It's
I mean, it's a good talent to have in your back pocket.
great. Now I'm not only studying French, I'm Italian too. So watch out.
But I want to talk more about your character. What was that like kind of portraying her and bringing her to life? Could you talk more about that?
Yes. So Miss Sheila Boyd, is a unique character in the show because she's really the only one that's got something going on outside of the library because she doesn't work there full time. She works there part time at the settlement desk, which that's an olive branch and a method of support for people who are new to the country, don't know how to get their resources or where to start or where to get their foot in the door. That's why I'm there. And then Sheila also is going to law school as well. It's not specified what kind of law. I've taken it upon myself to say that it's immigration law because I feel like that makes sense given the
It
nature
does
of the
make sense.
settlement desk. Thank you. Yeah, I know. But we also have like her family aspect, and Toronto is a melting pot, but Caribbean culture is strong here. And, I'm happy to authentically represent everybody knows a Sheila, daughter of Caribbean immigrants. Caribbean folks in our culture can be a little loud and out there in particular. And if you get it, you get it. And I loved, especially in episode 3, which was directed by the wonderful Kashmir, we dove into the other side of Sheila when she's not as professional, or when she kind of, you see the human side of her, and her being Caribbean is very much a part of that. Yeah, but she's tenacious, she's hardworking, she's always on the go. And even my wardrobe was modeled after someone who, has sneakers in the car and can change and go right off to where she needs to go next. And yeah, so she's kind of got one foot in the library, one foot out in the world. But based on what happens in the library, that is her driving force to keep doing what she's doing. She's a lot more mature than me, I will say. So playing her was really fun. And the way she dresses is just super, lots of colors. And like, at least I was like a neutral person, like a safety zone. Now I'm like, if Sheila's wearing bright yellow earrings, I want bright yellow earrings. Um, yeah, I loved her wardrobe. But yeah, she's hardworking, she's tenacious, she's always on the go, and she still makes it all work. And we kind of see the elements of her life outside come into the library, which is really interesting and fun. Yeah, she was a joy to play. She's not too much unlike me where it was hard, but there's moments where I'm like, she handled this a lot better than Taylor would have. So I had to like take some pieces of information of like, this is perhaps how I should apply myself in the future.
Yeah, I mean,
um,
you're learning from her.
exactly. She taught me so much. And I was also happy to bring my parts of myself to the role. And yeah, we might not both be characteristically from the same parts of the Caribbean, but it's not all the same, but it overlaps. There are fundamental things that just make sense, and you'll see what I mean when you watch the show. So yeah, that's my homage to everybody I know who lives in Toronto that's in the same boat and fill in the same shoes. I love it.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it sounds like such a fun set to be on. I'm wondering, have you
100%.
guys talked about a possible season 2 and what you would want to see for it?
So I've been plotting a season 2 from the beginning.
Okay.
I've done a lot of things to Anthony Q. Farrell. One, my character is from St. Kitts and Nevis. So I said, Anthony, you're from St. Kitts and Nevis. This is based on your family. Let's film in St. Kitts and Nevis. Like, let's work it into the story. And I'm trying to like pitch all these ideas to get us into the Caribbean for season 2. But we see so many seeds get planted in season 1, especially for my character, where even from the first episode at the end, there's a little spark of something that is going to set up my arc in the show. And so I would love to see all those things through. She's in law school in season 1. I would love if season 2 had her finish law school and, possibly elevating her position that she has currently in the library to something a bit more major leagues. That would be really exciting. And yeah, it's a story about community, and it's not necessarily about the struggle, but it is an overlooked, underfunded underdog type of situation at the Jameson branch. So I would love to see what we can do and achieve when we actually have funding and get paid attention to, and kind of stop taping things back together and thrive and provide for our community. That would be great. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah. Without
100%.
giving too much away, I think that's a good indication of what I have for season 2, but we could talk again after season 1 and you'll see what I mean. I have a whole spin-off idea. It's great.
We'll have an updated Zoom call and you'll be like,
Yes.
here's what I wrote.
Exactly.
Yes, but if you could describe this season as a whole in 3 words, what would they be?
3 words. Fun. And all the encompassing, like funny, fun, I guess funny and fun. It's super fun. I think it's really insightful because again, we are displaying real characters. So we're not just portraying one type of person. We're portraying all types of people that you might run into. So one of the main characters, Bryce, he's very mansplainy and doesn't think feminism should be a thing. We shouldn't, he calls Wendy the boss lady, and we kind of call him out where it's like, would you say that if it was a man? And he literally says no, because the man part's implied in the word boss. Like, we know those people that are kind of not obscure, but just might have differing thoughts. Yes, so I would say insightful because we do get a true look at different types of people from all walks of life that do end up under the same roof, and no one's past, dictates their present, and you'll see what I mean in the show based on some of the characters. And a third, it's got to be community, family for a lot of reasons. There's literal family involved. There is the family aspect of the employees that, we're kind of all in this ship together trying to tape it up and keep it afloat while also giving back to our community. So yeah, fun, insightful, and like family oriented. Maybe that's not the right word.
Yeah,
Familial, family. I don't know.
it works.
You know what I mean.
Yes. But my last question for you, I know this release is exciting, but do you have any future projects that you could hint at or talk about?
I can talk about one. Yes, I'm on an animated show called Summer Memories, which is an amazing show. I'm actually binging all of it right now because it's on Prime under one of the subscriptions, but I got the 30-day free trial. So I'm binging the show. But it was created by our director and creator, Adam Yaniv, and it's based on kind of his memories from when he was 11, going, on summer break and traveling, and all the friends and people that he had in his life. And all of the characters are based off of not maybe one person in particular, but my character's name is Joanna, and she's fierce, she's feisty, she loves soccer, she's a great friend, but yeah, she's 11 and they're all the same age. And it's kind of just the ups and downs of friendship and having your life viewed through this one perspective. And I remember he says, like, no, like, you represent this woman and that woman. I was like, oh my gosh, like, it's so, it's telling a story that only belongs to him, but I'm happy that we can share it with other audiences. And it's wonderful. And it's my first voice gig that I booked almost 2 years ago. And yeah, the episodes are still going, and we're nominated for a few Canadian Screen Awards, which is in about a month or so. So fingers crossed for us. But yeah, that's on Family Channel here in Canada, and then I believe it might be on Prime everywhere, just under the Family TV like subscription. That's been a work in progress for like 2 years now, so it's really nice to see it come to fruition, and we're still airing. So fingers crossed for season 2 for them too.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
congratulations on everything again, and thank you
thank
so
you so
much
much.
for your time.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for having me.